So it's foolish food. All right, this could be a lot of fun. So this immediately takes me to a scene from the movie Hook. Let's see. So this is a create a campaign one shot. What I do is I'm gonna pull cards and different, as you could see in the background, I have a bunch of different decks. Let's see, general, ta-da, bunch of different decks back here. We got new stuff going on. We've got the Once Upon a Time. We're bringing back the card Captor Sakura cards. We're bringing back a couple Oracle decks, the Enchanted map you already know. And then we're bringing the Deck of Many Things, which is a D&D based card deck where it throws different tabletop events and or people or things at you. And then we're also going to use, let's see, did I list everything? Yeah, I listed everything. But anyways, what we're going to do is these creative campaigns or creative dungeons or creative character activities that I do, you're not going to be handling any stats or numbers. Like, you can work on that on the side. Basically, for this one, it is a one-shot campaign, and all it's going to do is I'm going to draw cards that are going to pull different themes, like we do with the prompts, and it's going to pull different themes, and you can choose to use one, all, mix and match, because I'm going to give you a couple to choose from. And going in line with this month's The Gift of Memories, so very holiday based. So it doesn't have to be like sword and board fantasy, but it could be. It could be an urban campaign. It could be a steampunk campaign. You can retrofit these themes and ideas in conception with whatever you are doing. You can also use Pathfinder or D&D, Shadowrun, whatever you got going on for you, Warhammer, 40K, whatever. But basically what I'm just doing is I'm just pulling themes and ideas and things and obstacles and that are centered around the idea of the gift of memories. Holiday based, maybe it takes place during the winter, maybe it's just a little one shot with, or maybe it's a dream sequence campaign, something personal to the characters. So maybe it's not all about sword and boarding, maybe it's just a character development growth thing for the RP portion of it, what have you. But it is meant to just be a way to build another campaign idea and bounce off of it. You can, and this is meant to be a one shot, but you can do, if you've got ideas to do a whole smorgasbord of things, then by all means, go for it. So I'm going to draw 2 more cards from the Enchanted map deck. And basically these are going to be our location cards. Where in this campaign might the setting take place? And because I have limited board space here to work from, we're going to take some time to look and analyze them. And then afterwards, I'm going to move them to the side and clear the space so that we can move on to the next portion of the campaign builder. And so let's see what we got here. We've got strength. So it's not really a place, but it's looking like she's holding the world. Very kind of like in a little garden area. So that one's definitely going to be a more abstract location. Ride the wave. So we definitely have something more ocean-based here. So it could be holiday memories in Hawaii, off of a beach. Another location card here. One Ring Circus. Okay. So we have a circus, a festival, a gathering of some kind, something with entertainment. I know that there's places where it's kind of like parts of a city or a town or a village are blocked off so that people can walk through, and you've got vendors and different types of performers and things like that during the holidays. That could be, and I know that different countries have different things. And so you could definitely, depending on where you're located personally and what's personal to you, can definitely build a campaign off of something that's local to you and retrofit it for whatever campaign you're doing. You can make it like just a contemporary urban campaign. Like I said, doesn't have to be fantasy, but it can be like a holiday horror. And you can do, different types of things. So definitely we're feeling the beach here, the beach, the sea, under like an ocean theme location, holidays under the ocean. So you could have a sea monster or mermaid, or like that's the type of player characters that they could be. And then this one definitely feels more abstract to me, Earth. And so I'm feeling she's holding the world in her hand. So you could definitely do a dreamscape with this one. And I'm sorry, I knocked it out of sequence on the... All right, ready? Let's go. There we go. I'm feeling like the One Ring Circus is going to have a heavier concept to work with for me. So we got some of these for our locations. As far as what you would like to use, if any of them seem ideal, if you don't like any of them, you can just throw them all out and create your own location sequence. That is perfectly fine. But this is just step one. The campaign, as far as where the campaign is going to take place, would be any of those 3 locations. The next is going to be an objective. And from this, I'm pulling from the Shaman's Dream. So this one, because it's the gift of memories, the Shaman's Dream has a lot of cards in here, the Oracle deck, where it's all about pursuing, overcoming like a spiritual or pursuing more of a spiritual challenge. And I figured, like, especially with the gift of memories being all about personal psyche, personal memories, things like that, you could really pull a lot of nice abstract objective concepts that are not always just kill the monster. But then again, you can do kill the monster if you want, but if you're looking for something a little bit different, I figured that this is a good deck to pull more abstract things from. We're going to go ahead and clear the board, and I'm just going to pull. First one being Lost in Space, Needing Direction. Okay, so this could actually give us both a location on top of an objective. For those of you who are doing maybe an additional arc to a campaign, like maybe this is going to be something that you add to it as kind of like a holiday special for your players. Can be a nice little break where they learn direction, especially if you're coming across a situation where players are just not understanding how to get past an obstacle. Maybe this can be a nice little side quest area or a little side campaign that helps give them that direction going into their main campaign. The Lost in Space seems like a good idea. Seems like another fun location. It seems like this is both a location card and an objective. It could play either way. All right, I'm going to pull another one. And we've got Overwhelm and Plenty, Overflow. So maybe the objective can be, I'm going to go literal on this one because I know we're dealing with another abstract, but the first thing that comes to mind is maybe the objective can be there is a massive machine or something going on where it's causing problems for either the city or the circus location, and the objective is to, maybe overload the circuit breaker. Also be just, maybe there is a character boss in there somewhere where the objective is to overwhelm them with affection or emotion, or to get them to convince them to switch perceptions of something. It doesn't always have to be the sword and board. Maybe this campaign can have your characters go traveling around finding clues to things that made them harden their hearts to some degree, and just trying to overwhelm them and with plentiful good memories to bring them back from that abyss. And last but not least, we've got Sky Dancers, Surrender. Okay. Maybe the objective is to find a way to get the opposing antagonistic element to surrender as opposed to beating them senseless into the floor. Of course, you can also do that. I saw the majority of this deck, and there are a lot of really good objectives, but it seems like it really wanted to give me some really abstract concepts here. So like I said, I pulled 3 just so that we have 3 different things to choose from. You can use one of them, all of them, none of them. These are just designed to give you some ideas. And now we're going to clear the board. We've got our locations pulled. We've got our objectives pulled. And now we're going to fill it with some fun, quirky NPCs and some events and objects and things like that. From there, I'm pulling from the Once Upon a Story game. It's actually a card game or a tabletop game, but it has a lot, and it's all about telling and weaving stories. You're given different cards, and they all have different things. So in my hand right now, I have the yellow cards, and the yellow cards are basically characters. And the objective of the actual game itself is that you guys you ad-lib a story. And whatever's in your hand is what you're playing. So you're either you're ad-libbing a character, introducing it, and so you're trying to weave a story from beginning to end. But in this case, and as far as what we're doing here, we're going to be using the character cards as NPCs that you can add into your campaign. And so I will be pulling 5 just to give a breadth of ideas. You can use all of them, none of them, some of them, but whatever works well to fit your theme. And a lot of them are just generic. They're not like super specific, but it gives you an idea to just throw some random stuff in there and gives you something fun to work with. Okay, went ahead and shuffled them. Got a beggar character. Who is this? Another interrupt? We got a horse. There we go. A wolf. All right, we're getting a lot of animal characters coming into this. A lot of different NPCs going on that are of the animal sort. A princess. Got a cook. She's looking ready for a fight. Okay, so we've got a beggar, a horse, a wolf, a princess, and a cook. So we've got some NPCs to add into the campaign, and these can be guides, they can be antagonists, they can be just about anything you want, but they're just something that you can throw into your campaign as added buffer material and to give you something different to work with. But there we go. So we have some NPCs. We got a beggar, horse, wolf, princess, and cook for some added NPCs to the campaign. Keep in mind, it is Gift of Memories as far as the theme, although you can use it towards anything else you want. And it is designed to be a one-shot concept, but if by some chance you're able to actually put together a whole huge thing, that is awesome. Let me know in the comments below what you end up crafting. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clear the board. Now these next cards are actually pairs. We've got the green deck, which are things, and then we have the blue deck, which are aspects. And so how I'm going to use them in this particular instance is I'm going to pull 3 things and associate 3 aspects that go to them. So it's just basically going to be 3 things and then 3 things about them that adds something different. That way it can add a little bit of little spice to that campaign. I really like using humor in a lot of the stuff I do, even with serious concepts. I feel that humor helps add a little bit of a buffer and add, especially in campaigns. I love, like with tabletop games, I love going the humor route. So I'm just going to pull from the top 3 here. Thing number 1 is a window. Food. All right, well, hey, the holidays is all about food. So this feels like this is right on par with where we need to be. And a well. Okay, cool. I'm liking where this is going. I'm liking the things. I feel that the window could do something fun. Splitting it, pulling 3 from the top. The aspect that we're going to be adding to the window is that it's cursed. It's a cursed window. We don't know what the window is cursed with. That is for you to have fun with. Really dig deep. It can be something horrifying, or it can be maybe all the windows. Maybe this campaign takes place in a building and all the windows are cursed. Maybe they just, once you're in this building, you can't break this window, you can't get out. That would be horrifying. But they are cursed in some way. How is up to you. Moving on to the food. What's going on with the food? It is foolish. Okay, so it's foolish food. This could be a lot of fun. So this immediately takes me to a scene from the movie Hook, where they have to imagine that they're eating food in order for Robin to become, or not Robin, Peter Pan. There we go. I'm with it today. So when Peter Pan's trying to remember who he is again, and he has to imagine eating food. So foolish food, that's kind of like the scene that I immediately gravitate towards. But there can be something about the food that is hilarious. Maybe the food is completely like abnormal to what your players are, the player characters are used to eating. Maybe there's something very grotesque and bizarre about the foods, but it's foolish food. Have at it. Have some fun. I say bring on the silliness. And last but not least, the well can talk. The well can talk. So we have cursed windows, foolish food, and a well that can talk. And we don't know what we're going to do with these in the campaign, but that is up for you. That is up to you to figure out how you're going to weave one, a few, all of them, none of them into your campaign. But I feel like a couple of them are some winners here. I feel like there's a few of them that are easy gimmies that you can have some fun with. Oh no, wait, we got one more deck. Events. Ooh, the purple deck. Now this is not to be confused with the deck of many things, because that's going to add additional stuff. And the deck of many things actually is interesting because it works in tandem with Dungeons and Dragons. So it has actual stat stuff on there for those of you who play or plan to base this campaign off of those rule set. It actually gives you a little something to work with on that front. But for those who don't work, who are going to just homebrew this whole thing, which I homebrew everything, and it ends up being a total train wreck disaster that's not balanced to save its soul, but it's a one shot, so I don't care. The objective is just to have fun, and as long as all my players are having fun, that's the only thing I really care about. And that's how I DM every game. That's how it goes. Anyways, so we're going to clear the board here. All right, let's go with 3 quick events that happen in your campaign. Found. Okay, something is found. Rescued. Maybe they come across one of the NPCs and rescue them. And escaping. I feel like all 3 of these can be easily used. These are very general events. So these seem to be really easy events. So I'm just going to actually leave these here, and I'm going to move on to the deck of many things. Now there's 2 of these decks. There's the deck of many fates and there's the deck of many things. And so this is the deck of many things. And I really like this. This just seems to be a nice little tiny deck that can be a great companion for any of your tabletop games. And so I recommend it regardless. But yeah, these are definitely companion cards for while you're DMing your campaign, and I highly recommend them. The Vizier. Once within the next year, you may ask any question and receive a truthful, helpful solution. So that can be something that an NPC can offer, is that maybe one of the characters offers the ability to ask any question and receive a truthful, helpful solution. We have Uriel. I think it's Uriel. You are cursed. Permanently take a -2 penalty on saving throws. Okay. We're really loving, the cards are really loving the cursed thing again. Let's do one more thing. And it is Skull. This card summons an avatar of death. You must battle it alone or die. Each time anyone attempts to help you, another avatar appears. Oh, that's not fun. So there are a few fun things to add to this holiday campaign. Some of them might not fit. Like this unless you're doing a standard sword and board campaign for your Gift of Memories, for your holiday campaign, this will probably fit more like that. This will definitely fit more of the just a contemporary, heartwarming type of approach if you're going to go with something that's more puzzle related. And then this can go either way. Like being cursed, we're already dealing with cursed windows and things like that. Maybe the windows are cursed in that they curse you back. And that could be the connection on some stuff. And these are basically like little twist elements that you can add to your campaign. So I'm going to clear the board. Okay, last but not least, pulling from my favorite deck, the Sakura card deck. I am such a big fan of Cardcaptor Sakura. Now, I like the original one from the 90s. I did see the Crystal series. I like the Alice in Wonderland vibe that they're trying to give it, but I just didn't resonate with it as well as I do with the original first series. But I do love the concept of the CLOW cards. And I think the whole concept behind capturing them and what they do and all that other stuff is just a ton of fun. And so for the CLOW cards with this particular campaign, these can be obstacles, because some of these, all these cards are supposed to be sentient. Now, that doesn't mean you're working with cards. It's just that the cards that I pull are going to be all elemental based. And so from them, they might create obstacles that are puzzles, that are creatures, that are people, magical influences, and these cards span all sorts of ranges of abilities. Let's go ahead and pull some CLOW cards, and let's see what kind of obstacle elements that we can add to them. All right, the cloud is going to be card number 1. I swear all the decks today are giving me abstract concepts to work with. basically just makes it cloudy and foggy. There is a difference between the mist in here and the cloud. So maybe the cloud can be just like a little spirit sprite or creature. Okay, the thunder. We got something a little bit stronger now. The thunder was definitely, it is a very powerful card. Oddly enough, even though it is thunder, there's no lightning card. So the thunder is technically both the sound and lightning itself. The thunder card can mess with electricity. So if you're doing the campaign at like a festival where there's a lot of lights or something, and we did have, the objective was to overwhelm one of them. So you can definitely do a lightning, thunder, power, electrical theme with your Gift of Memories campaign. That's a possibility. You can tie it all together in that front. The light. This one is a very powerful card. It's a twin card to the dark. So where there is dark, you find light, and where there's light, there is the darkness. And it's that back and forth. Since it's such a broad concept, it can be used in puzzles. It can be used, especially when we're dealing with, we've got thunder going on here. So we do have a lot of like electricity, light, power, that kind of thing. I'm definitely feeling that as an overall theme. The jump. And the jump card basically allows you to just jump real far, jump real high, definitely doing a lot more saving throw rolls, trying to make it from one location to the next. You know the drill. The twin. I don't think there's a doppelganger card. You could use it as a doppelganger. Maybe they have to go against themselves. Maybe that is part of overcoming the obstacle, is to face yourself in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so we got the cloud. Cloud, I'm kind of a little lost on. So if you've got an idea, an abstract idea, let me know what you end up coming up with as far as how you use it. Comment below. I'd love to hear it. Got the thunder card, definitely an easier one to work with. And especially with, if you're doing like a festival type scenario, thunder, power, electricity could definitely be an obstacle to overcome. The light. Again, another powerful card with a very broad concept that you can work with. Jump. The parkour card. Yep, parkour indeed. And then the twin, something that duplicates. And so that is an introduction to create a campaign where you just throw a bunch of things at you. Yeah, just comment in the video below. Let me know what you guys come up with. Would love to hear your ideas. If some of you end up actually making little campaigns and playing, take a little video snippet of it, send me to whatever Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I'd love to see it in action. That is it for the evening.
Check out my fantasy novel, Key of Arcandus, through any major online book retailer such as Barnes & Noble and Amazon. Or you can support your local bookstore by having them request a copy through their distribution channels. Links are in the description below.